Welcome into That Damn Fantasy Show. I'm Paul Catalina alongside Caroline Wolfe. Yes, we are doing it from the regular set today because the remodeling goes on. I cannot wait for all this to be done. Like, I really can't. Caroline, have you ever had like a house remodeled or anything?
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yeah.
So like, do you know the feeling of?
But
like,
I left the house when it was being remodeled.
Yeah. Well, see, we're not doing that, but like I had like plumbing issues and like my wife and I had to sit through months of they're going to come in and do this, and then like they're going to come in and do that. And when you get like, it's bad enough as it is,
yes,
without like waiting. But like when you get to the end, it's the worst because you're like, would you just come in and do the one little thing that you'll be done. Like, it's not going to take you long. I've seen you do much harder things so fast. And they're like, yeah, but it's the valve guy. There's only one guy who can do valves. He's certified. And you're like, well, get his ass here. Like, listen. It just, that's how I think, even though this kind of just started like a week and a half ago, we feel already, because we've been waiting for it for months, we just kind of feel like, please just finish so we can get to it, because we're excited about it.
And but you can't speed it up. I mean, you just have to wait for it.
No, speeding it up costs money and time, and then sometimes when you try to speed things up, it then like
doesn't turn out well.
To go fast,
doesn't turn out well. Yeah.
So anyway, I was 3-0 in my leagues last week.
Same.
3-0.
Well, 2-0.
2-0.
Yeah.
So we're undefeated. So this week, our advice stands to reason. Now, one thing we did last week, we had to clean up, and it wasn't our fault. We taped the show on Wednesday. On Friday, Chuba Hubbard got hurt in practice and went out. So we told everybody to start Chuba Hubbard. I hope that you looked at the internet after you saw our show, or saw our show before Friday and understood, and didn't watch after Friday and think, what are these two idiots doing? The Panthers just said he was going to be out. But literally, like, sometimes I would tell Garrett, if it happened like after the show was over, just go edit that part out. But it was 2 full days later. It had already been posted for 48 hours. So we were just like, all right, well, I was just like, okay, well, bummer. But it does bring me to something I have to admit to the world I might have been wrong about.
Oh, no.
Although it's just one game. But as someone who considers himself an expert on the Cowboys, when the Cowboys let Rico Dowdle walk, I was like, good. Fine, go draft somebody. That's good. That's good news that they're letting him walk and they're not giving him an extension. Well, he racked up 200 yards rushing last week, and this week he will start against the Cowboys. All things are pointing to that.
Oh, if Chuba's not back.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to be.
Okay, yeah.
And so, and again, like, why would you rush him back if you've got Rico hell-bent for leather to prove his old team wrong for letting him go and move to Charlotte, North Carolina? I worry that this ends badly for the Cowboys.
It probably does, but I'm just excited that I played him last week. Yeah. So there we go.
Good for you. Good for you. So, I made it through. I picked up Woody Marks in a league. No, you know what? I lied. I was not 3-0. I was 2-1, and I was 2-1 because I picked up Woody Marks. I put him right in the lineup because that's what you're supposed to do. And then, well, if you're watching the game as like a football coach, you'd be like, man, this guy is really doing everything they ask him. And I'm like, well, the coaches are asking him all these things. I need him to score a touchdown. Mm-hmm. Like, I need him to get the ball more.
Yeah, no. He didn't do any of that.
No, he didn't.
He did. Yeah.
He didn't.
Was he even playing? Did he even play?
He got 2 points.
Okay. Yeah, that's why that's
which I think were the 2 receptions he had.
It was so promising. We really thought he was going to do something.
Yeah, and then last week Nick Chubb was back, and they gave the ball to the veteran a little bit more. So, but that's where we are. Caroline, how do you feel about your long-term prospects with the season so far?
I have to say, I don't want to say it because I don't want to jinx it, but I'm feeling pretty.
You're in a good.
I don't have too many injuries, and I'm 6, 7. I don't know.
Let me ask you this: in your league, because it's a newer league, the longer a league goes, like I'm in 3 leagues that I've been in for a very long time. No one trades. I send trades all the time.
There's rare trades. I am typically the one who is doing the trading because I'm working the waiver wire and trying to look to see who I need a quarterback because I have Kyler Murray in one of my leagues and I don't have a backup, and he's not doing the best, and he's questionable. So I was okay. Well, who's terrible right now? And I have another team who has 3 quarterbacks. So I'm looking to trade, but there's not much trading going on.
No, it's one of the sad things that's happened to fantasy football in the last few years is people don't trust each other. If I want to send a message with this show, it is make trading great again, and just let's get some trades going. It makes it more fun. In my fantasy baseball league, we have half of us trade, half of us don't.
Yeah.
And the half of us that trade are the top half of the league.
Well, I think like half of the teams are they don't even look at their roster, and I guess they have jobs and kids or something. I don't know. They're busy.
And kids and all those things, but so does everybody.
Yeah. So
prioritize things in your life.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Make some time for the fantasy football.
When your kids are at school, that's when you do this. Am I supposed to believe you're really working on what you work on?
You have a lunch break.
Long?
Hello.
Yeah. But even then,
wake up.
Every place has productivity monitors on their software.
Yeah. And you're awake at 4 or 5. I don't know. Sometimes you wake up in the morning, just look at your phone and do some trades.
Yeah.
It's not that hard.
That's
what
not
I do.
that hard. Yes. What do you get off of social media for 1 second? The Instagram picture is going to be there when you go back.
See, I think that's my problem is that I'm on Twitter. And so I'm watching it's just all full of fantasy football stuff. So then it's like, it just tells me, I get too much overloaded.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. So let's get into our starts and sits. I didn't even add anything this week. Caroline has been so on fire with this. So, because also one of the ones I did add last week, wasn't good. Woody Marks. I was like, yeah, go get him. It looks like they're going to use him a lot. Look, we have John McClain, who's a Hall of Fame NFL writer who's covered the Texans since their inception on our regular show, 365 Sports, every single week. I've talked to him most every single week of my talk show career going back 20 years. He told me they were going to use him more, and I believed him, and it turned out he had faulty information as well, which doesn't happen too often with the general, but it happened.
I think everybody was on that same page.
Yeah. Okay. So I shouldn't feel I feel bad though, because I'm trying to present myself as some sort of expert here. And then I say, hey, buy on Woody Marks right now. And then right out of the gate, if you did, it's bye week time. You gotta filter those things in. And at the end of this show, we'll go through the bye weeks just to make sure everybody knows who's on bye and who's not. Or who's on bye. You'll know who's not by the teams we don't say. But you have first off, I like this one because I have him on 2 teams. Deebo Samuel. This GIF is obviously from the 49ers. They have not seen fit to give him one for Washington yet. Garrett is a big Washington fan. Garrett, you're loving Deebo Samuel right now, right?
I love me some Deebo Samuel. It's nice to have somebody paired with Jalen Daniels to get the most of his capabilities.
Well, he's really good fit in the offense, and he's had a couple good weeks, and Terry McLaurin still hurt. So, Caroline, what do you think about Deebo?
I think that even when Terry McLaurin comes back, he's still in the lineup.
Yeah, because they're using him a lot.
Yes.
Like if you watch the Commanders game the other day, they're really finding ways to move him around and get him the ball. So
and poor guy, they were calling him fat and useless, and then now he's back and he's doing it.
Yeah. And look, I am pretty sure that he was born after the cult classic Friday came out. Have you ever seen Friday?
Yeah.
Well, there's a Deebo in Friday.
Oh,
You don't mess with that guy.
Yeah, there is.
You don't mess with him either.
You don't.
Yeah. So, yeah, you don't doubt anybody named Deebo. Okay, I'm going to tell you right now. If you went up against somebody named Deebo, you just trust that they're going to get it done. I'll tell you that. I believe that wholeheartedly. You also really like Stephon Diggs and the Patriots this week. They got a big win over the Bills. That was kind of a shocker.
That was a shocker.
But Drake May starting to come into his own a little bit. Stephon Diggs,
it's his top target, I think, and even after he's come off his ACL injury, he's moving well and starting to, he's going to be an asset. So I'm saying,
yeah. And look, it takes some time to come off that injury and feel confident running again. Look, you were a college athlete. I'm sure you've had injuries, and that when you came back to do that, you start and you're not in pain, but it's do I trust can I hit my highest gear
Right,
yet?
right.
Let me make sure, because
you don't want to push it too much.
Yeah,
too
I'm
soon.
not hurting anymore, but I also know that I'm not as strong as I was before this hurt, so I've got to get back to that level. It seems like the last couple of weeks he's done that.
Yep.
And he also is such an egomaniac, which I think is a good thing, that he won't like go quietly. Like he's towards the end of his career. That's coming. But he's still effective, and I think he's gonna. I mean, look, this GIF. I know you can't maybe see it on the animation. Just as him saying, "I'm him." He still believes that. Like he hasn't not stopped believing that. So this is a nice, crafty one, because I think he's kind of available in some leagues to go get if you don't have him.
Oh yeah,
he's maybe more available than some, because nobody really knew what the Patriots were going to do.
Yeah, they've surprised me.
Yeah. We'll get to here's the next one. Rico Dowdle. We already talked about it, but Cowboys, look, they drilled the Jets last week. The Jets still put up some numbers, and the Cowboys defense is not good. The Panthers are better than the Jets, although I would not call them good, but they're better, and they're better coached than the Jets. And Rico Dowdle has something to prove. So I think this is a solid play this week.
I hope Chuba's not going to come back, like you said, and Rico's in.
Yeah.
Uncle Rico, whatever we call him.
And I would not be surprised to see Dave Canales give him some more run early in the game, because he's extra motivated.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Rico Dowdle, who maybe I wasn't wrong about the Cowboys not bringing him back. Maybe it wasn't worth it, but I do feel like he's going to try to make him pay this week as well. All right. Next up, Michael Carter, a name that a lot of people maybe haven't heard in a while, but with James Conner out for the season, Trey Benson out for the season, and Amari DiMercato doing one of the dumbest things you ever seen in the world last week. Michael Carter is now the starter at running back for the Arizona Cardinals. Look, it was so dumb that Jonathan Gannon got fined $100,000 for his sideline interaction with Amari DiMercato.
DiMercato is what I've heard.
Which I mean, to me, if I'm Jonathan Gannon, I'm like, yeah, good. Here's $100,000. Like, yes, I had to tell him, like, wait until you score to drop the ball.
You think it's obvious, but
it's actually happened twice this year.
Yeah,
but his came against a team, the Titans, that is awful. Is going to probably fire their coach, and Jonathan Gannon, his team's middle of the road at best. He doesn't want to get fired either. And they had that, and then they had an interception that should have sealed the game that turned into a fumble in the leading touchdown for the Titans, which is the most old school Arizona Cardinals way to lose a game. But Michael Carter going to get a start this week, and especially in leagues where you are, you're up against bye weeks. Maybe you didn't do well with running back drafts. You've got injuries there. Omarion Hampton's out. Like, you got to go pick somebody up. If you're an Omarion Hampton owner, he went to IR this week. Michael Carter is going to be available for you to pick up.
I played against him this week, and I played DiMercato. Cardo, whatever his name is.
Yes.
So, but I still won, so
yeah,
they must have had poor turnouts otherwise.
Another start here, Jalen Waddle. The Dolphins are likely going to fire their head coach here in the next few weeks, because Stephen Ross, the owner, came out and said, I haven't made a decision. I'm going to see how it goes, which is I don't want to do it today. Like, it doesn't do us any good to do it today. But Jalen Waddle, with Tyreek Hill's knee having exploded, now is for sure getting the most targets.
Yep, number one wide receiver. He had, I think 23 points last week.
Yeah, he had a lot last week. They don't have a lot of people to spread it around to necessarily. So I would definitely pick up him. And I also, if you are on the fence about starting Devin Achane, I would start him as well, because I think you're going to see more, especially targets for him out of the backfield coming up.
I love it.
Yeah. So this is one of yours. This is kind of look, and here's another one, another Dolphin, Darren Waller, who's become a trusted target for Tua.
I did not realize that he was retired and came out of. I just thought maybe he was.
Well, look, if you were stuck with the Giants for a year, maybe you would retire, and then a lot of people retire in Miami. They don't go to Miami and unretire. So it's a unique story.
Yeah, and he's had 17 points or more the past 2 weeks, and I'm glad that I picked him up and played him.
Yep. I would have gotten, And look, it's not like he went down and played with a way better quarterback. Tua is better than I think people give him credit for, but he's not as good as the Dolphins need him to be. But yeah, that's a nice start there. This one, you owe this young man an apology.
I know.
You wanted to sit him last week.
I did. I sat him.
Yeah, you sat him.
Yeah.
Bill Krosky-Merritt, and another one that Garrett is really loving right now. He has got the most yards per touch of any running back in the league right now. So anytime he touches the ball, he's going to gain some yards. And he had to, I think this is a really cool story because he had to sit out all of last year at Arizona. He had eligibility issues, which stem from he played at a junior college. Garrett, correct me if I'm wrong here.
Yes.
He's at a junior college his freshman year. They couldn't figure out if he played or not because of a jersey
number.
A jersey number issue that the junior college didn't like. The junior college didn't think he played, but they had him down for 2 different jersey numbers that first year. And so this is before junior college now doesn't count towards your eligibility because of Diego Pavia. So he had to sit out for Arizona all of last year because somebody at a junior college didn't know if he played a game or not.
What?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So whatever Microsoft Word, they needed Clippy, the little paper clip to tell them what happened. But whatever Microsoft Word document they put it in, they had 2 different numbers and they couldn't prove one way or the other. So the NCAA, not understanding that nuance exists everywhere, decided to go, you can't play.
That is
because you might have played in one JUCO game during all this because they're trying to crack down. So he is playing like a guy who thought he was going to have his last meal and then got out. Like that's certainly how he is. So it's such a wild and good story, and so happy for him that he's gotten this opportunity. And again, Cliff Kingsbury he knows how to get the most out of the guys in that offense, and he's a perfect fit for the Commanders.
And they play the Bears, so
yeah,
I'm probably gonna have to play him.
Yep, absolutely. All right, sit all Giants wide receivers. Now, look, Cam Scatterboo's the running back. He's getting about 20 touches a game. I would say keep him in, but maybe put him in the flex spot right now. But Jackson Dart is not exactly whipping the ball around the yard, is he?
No.
So you got to wait. Is that are you comfortable as long as Jackson Dart starts to not play any Giants wide receivers unless you have to?
I mean, yeah.
Neighbors is out for the year.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right. You say also, and I agree with this, especially this week, sit Kenneth Walker and Zach Charbonnet this week.
Yes.
Because they're starting to get in a little bit of a timeshare situation.
Yes.
I have Kenneth Walker in a league, and it's coming down to, you're going to help me out here. Do I start Kenneth Walker or Bill Krosky-Merritt? I think I'm going to start Bill this week.
Oh, yes. That's
Yeah.
what, yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
So
I'm saying it. I'm going with him because I let him down last week. So now I'm.
Yeah.
He's getting all starts.
You doubted him?
I did.
You didn't know. Maybe if you knew.
Okay. That's the first week that I didn't play him.
Yeah. Maybe if you knew
Good choice.
His story of.
Exactly. So it's actually your fault. You should have known. You should have told me.
Yeah.
Then I would have played him.
Yeah. Garrett and I, on the show that we used to have called The Triple Option, we talked about that at length one day.
Oh, we did.
And how stupid it was that the NCAA is like, well, it's clearly his fault. And you're like, well, no, it's whoever was in charge of keeping the game notes' fault. And we're going to punish a guy. It didn't seem to he didn't play in any other games after that. So the first game of the year, they couldn't figure out what jersey he was wearing that day. Yeah. And all they have is film of this one guy getting 2 carries wearing number 26 or whatever he was supposed to be wearing. You also have sit Amari DiMercado, which
is clear.
I mean, he'll play because he's he's one of the running backs, but I don't think he's got a very long leash to do anything. Like when Michael Carter needs water, Amari's going to play.
There you go. Exactly.
Yeah.
So go ahead and play him if you want to.
If you really have to, you have to. But I foolishly picked him up in a DFS league last week and wound up costing me some money. as well. So there is our starts and sits. There are there's a couple interesting matchups this week. I think people should pay attention to, or some pickups they need to look at. Look, Omari and Hampton is hurt. There's two different running backs you could pick up: Hassan Haskins or Vidal. Their other running back. If you've got to pick him up, you've got to pick him up, but that's going to be a wait and see thing. I don't think Omari and Hampton's going to be out for that long. They think, November 9th is.
Oh, well, he's on IR.
Yeah.
Well, no. That's Antonio Gibson.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's kind of go ahead. If you have an IR spot, put him there. Sit him on your bench and wait. But that's a really, really interesting one. The London game this week is Broncos. The overseas game is Broncos and Jets Sunday morning early. Don't know how that's going to affect either team. I play Cortland Sutton every single week. Hopefully he has a big game against the Jets are really, really bad. So my advice to you would be play anybody who plays the Jets for any reason because they're really, really bad. And it sucks because I really do like Aaron Glenn. I always have. He is like you, an Aggie, and a legendary one at that. The Vikings are finally off after a 2-week European vacation that they went on, which half of it was good and half of it was bad. Did they win either of those or lose both of them?
I don't know. Without Lamar.
I have to go back
without
and look
Lamar.
now.
Texans are also on a bye week.
They won. So they won last week against the Browns, which everybody should do. Also, the Browns traded Joe Flacco this week to the Bengals, so he will eventually start for the Bengals.
Yes.
So that's going to be very interesting. They now have two quarterbacks named Joe, which is going to be weird when everybody's in the same room together. Old Joe and young Joe. Joe Burrow has a Batmobile.
Is that the one that when he got robbed or when his house got broke into, they were trying to steal his cars?
Maybe, but he has a Batmobile.
Well, I think it's whenever he came out and talked about it, then they tried to go and steal it.
Yeah.
So maybe you shouldn't tell people, but I didn't.
Batmobile, which I don't think is the bet. Like, you can't really drive it around. Like, you just kind of. What
do you just look at it?
I mean, you actually get in it. I just have this.
I'm gonna need him to drive it around. He does nothing else. He's nothing else to do. He has turf toe.
I wonder. Like, I get this picture of like Joe Burrow telling like Jamar Chase to come over, and they play Batman and Robin, and like T. Higgins is like the Joker. Trey Henderson comes over, and he's like Commissioner Gordon.
I feel like you've thought about this.
The house, and like they have to like roll, like they have to change. Like when you were a kid, like, okay, well, you were Batman first. Now it's my turn.
You really want to make
somebody has to tell Joe, like, hey, you have to share your toys with your friends. And like Jamar's like, yeah, I get to drive the Batmobile.
He thought about this way too much.
Driving home after I saw that video. That's all I thought about.
See?
Yeah. And then like I called my wife and I was like, hey, did you know that Joe Burrow has a Batmobile? And she's like, well, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. And I said, I think it's pretty awesome if you can get a Batmobile. And then we had a whole discussion of this is why you don't get to make these choices. And I was like, that's true. That's true. I'm glad she's in my life, because if there's ever a point where I have a ton of money, there's a chance if I'm just like walking around the rich people area and they're like, hey guy, you want to buy a custom Batmobile? And I'll be like, I don't not.
I don't not, obviously.
I mean, I'm not going to say no right out the gate. Let's talk turkey here. So those are things to look out for. Who else? Let's see. Hold on. Let me just pull up the bye weeks.
I just think it's Houston Texans and the Vikings.
Yeah.
That's what I saw.
This week is Texans and Vikings. Next week is Ravens and Bills. And then we've got a couple of big ones coming before the clear out. So, but yeah, this week just Texans and Vikings. So if you have Texans and Vikings, make sure you adjust your lineups accordingly. And let's see. Anything else? Anything else I want to say, or do you have anything? Anybody you like? Anything you want to?
Jamar Chase did pretty good last week. Who else did I have? AJ Brown, not good. Not doing. Not.
Yeah, AJ Brown. I've been trying to trade AJ Brown.
Yes.
And here's the thing: I'm doing it for his sake, because once I trade him, he'll do well.
Yes.
Yes. So I actually tell me what you think of this trade. I proposed CeeDee Lamb, Derrick Henry, and I'm sending AJ Brown, Kenneth Walker, and RJ Harvey to this guy.
Well, yeah, I would take
Because
those.
CeeDee's not playing right now, and he hasn't won a game in our league. All these guys are playing, and then I basically get CeeDee in a couple of weeks, and then and Derrick Henry. So
yeah, we'll see.
yeah, I don't know. Part of me just wants Derrick Henry on my team every year because I love him, and it's the angriest I've ever been at Jerry Jones is last year when he was like, yeah, we don't have the money to sign him, and it's like he wants to, like, he lives in Dallas, he wants to go there, he doesn't want the commute, and then he's like, I'll just go play for a better team anyway, and the Ravens, which this year Lamar's hurt, they've got a lot of injuries, it's been tough.
That's been bad.
Also, I would play anybody against the Ravens right now.
Yeah, and don't play Mark Andrews because
anybody against the Ravens. Just play anybody against the Ravens. They're not the typical Ravens, and Lamar's not there. And if you still play a defense and special teams, do that because they're not going to score a lot of points with Cooper Rush. So, but Derrick Henry, you play every week because he's Derrick freaking Henry. It doesn't matter who he's playing; he can make things happen. All right, final thoughts, Caroline.
I had a final thought and then it went away. So
okay, how do you feel about Bad Bunny being the Super Bowl halftime show?
Oh my god!
Are you excited about it?
I'm very stoked. What am I gonna do? You
don't speak Spanish, so
I don't speak Spanish.
And look, here's the thing: it's all about the vibe.
You don't have to understand it. It's the whole.
It's all about the vibe.
The dance.
No,
it's all about
whenever Rihanna was playing, I was dancing around with all the kids, singing all the songs, and I watched it probably 27 times after that.
Yeah.
Huh? What do you want to do? I can't sing along. I want to be able to like sing.
You want to sing along? Well, you've got some time to start listening to some Bad Bunny.
Well, I've listened to Bad Bunny stuff, but it's not just this. It's what he's on, if he's collaborating with somebody, maybe they'll bring some other people out. But
I hablo español. So I'm excited.
No hablo español, señor.
I do. I'm excited about it.
Well, good. I hope you have fun watching it because I'm gonna go to the other room.
I like it when the halftime show really pops.
I bet it's gonna pop.
It's gonna pop.
They're gonna be like, "What are you saying?"
I really loved Kendrick Lamar last year.
Kendrick Lamar. I knew all the songs.
Yeah.
Eminem, all the same. Country, whoever.
Yeah.
Somebody.
He is the most popular or the second most popular artist in the world right now behind Taylor Swift. So, and she's not doing it. Yes.
How?
People love that
global fan base.
Yeah, he's a huge fan base.
Well, maybe it's
second most. Actually, I think he's the most downloaded. He was the most downloaded on Spotify until 2 weeks ago.
I think they must. I cannot. Really?
Yeah. Yeah. Until Life of a Showgirl came out. And she's not going to do a Super Bowl halftime show until Trav's retired.
Wow.
Yeah. So
she's planning her wedding. She's too busy.
Yeah, exactly. Are you a Swiftie?
No.
No?
No.
How am I the only Swiftie in our?
I pretend for my friends' kids that I'm like, oh yeah, Taylor's. I mean, I have nothing against her, but I'm just not like a.
I'm a mate. My wife's not a Swiftie.
I'm too old for a Swiftie.
Yeah, there's no such thing. No such thing. It's not so much the music as I respect.
I love this. I love the all the secret Easter eggs that she has in all the songs.
She has a level of integrity that a lot of people in that business don't, and I respect it.
Yeah,
and she's the opposite of most every musician you ever heard that's got in trouble. She's on the straight, she's just really smart. And so while I'm not gonna walking around singing Drew talks to me, I'm not gonna do that.
I feel like that's what you do.
But
in the shower.
But I respect the hustle. I respect the hustle. But I'm somehow the only Swiftie I know lately. Well, and it's weird. I feel alone. Andrew's not a Swiftie. I mean, Smokey only likes Elton John.
True.
You know, like all the
Don't
people,
be afraid to be on your own island. It's
No,
fine.
I'm not.
Okay.
My wife makes fun of me when like we watched that whole podcast and
Yeah.
you know,
Were you excited about the engagement and everything? Are you ready? Like,
here's the deal. She hates the Chiefs.
what are her colors going to be? I mean, do you
So like,
know?
yeah, no, I'm excited for them. I think, yeah, she hates the Chiefs, so she hates Travis Kelce right now. So because of that, like, she is now looped Taylor Swift into her. Like, I'm mad about this because I'm tired of the Chiefs.
Speaking of the Chiefs and their game,
yeah, that was crazy.
I did watch that whole game.
Yeah, I loved the Keystone Cops touchdown that Trevor Lawrence scored at the end of the
That
game.
was pretty great.
Yeah.
And it was his birthday.
Yeah.
I was so happy for
It's
him.
embarrassing. My wife calls him Sunshine.
Well, that's because of
Remember
the Titans.
Yes.
Yep.
She was very happy for Sunshine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly. So, all right, that's going to do it for us. I know we said we were going to play a game this week, but we're out of time. We're going to play it next week. We're gonna have a challenge.
Cauliflower.
This is That Damn Fantasy Show. I'm Paul. That's Caroline. And we're done. Have a great week, everybody.